Let's start the radio group and the checkbox. Before that, we have also create two activity, one radio group activity and one checkbox activity. So all empty activity. And the first one is the radio group activity. Finish. And the second one, import R. The second one is activity empty check box activity. And we need import R. Import R. We start with the video group. Before that, go to demo fragment and the list the ones. Video group checkbox. Okay. And case 8 break and case 9 break. Then case 8 is going to video group class, video group activity class, and case 9 go to checkbox activity class. Then in the video group activity, we create a video group inside the video group activity. I use linear layout, then orientation, vertical. So you start with the video group, then with match parent and height with match parent. Then you can see the video group is also a container. So inside the video group, we can add video button. Transparent height is 60 dp. Then I put 3 video button. Then ID start with video and video button 1. Also give ID to the rest 2 video buttons. It's 3. And we can put text. It's video button 1. Video button 2, video button 3. Then we go to design to check. Okay, we have 3 video buttons. Then we create the other. I change height to warp content. Then after the video group, I create a new button with next parent height 60 dp, and let's call it submit. Text size 6 sp. Now we have one video group, and the video button should inside the video group. And after video group, I created one button. So let's call it ID video group button. Then we have a video group. We have video buttons, ID plus ID, video, video group. We go back to video group activity. Then we use button knife to bind this activity. And we make this video group activity extend from base activity, so it's easy to use the toast. And because inside the video group, when user choose one, let's start activity. When user start click video buttons, it will switch the video button automatically. So I go to video group. Then so the default, you can set the default is 1 or 2 or 3. So you can give a default setting. Then if user choose one video button, and if switch to the second one, it automatically disable the first one. So you just need to, but the you have to put the 3 video buttons in one group, so it can switch it automatically. If you put 2 different video buttons in 2 different video group, so you can it will not choose automatically. You have for one option you have to put all the video buttons in one video group. Then we use add band view r.id dot video group and this is video group and we also bind the view r.id dot video group. The button, submit button, is a button come submit. And like we set on-click listener for the button, for the video group, we set on check change listener. Then new on check change listener. Implement methods, and it will create I'll do it again. So there's on change listener, then new on checked change listener is for the video group. Unchecked listener. What happened? Oh, okay, sorry. So it should unchecked. Video group set video group set unchecked listener. but okay, sorry. It's a start with the radio group dot set unchecked listener and new unchecked listener. Then we got the unchecked change method. So whenever you switch the video button, you click one video button, the system will call this method and give you the group, then also give you a checked ID. So if you have different group, um, it's according to the group, video group, then give the checked ID. So whenever it change the checked ID, you can remember it in the activity. So private checked ID int checked ID. Then the checked ID equal to checked ID. So whenever the user switch the radio button, you can remember to store the checked ID inside this activity. Then when we click the button, so we change it to at onClick r.id.button and public void submit. It's not doing this. OnClick submit view. Then inside the button the command, because we already have the checked ID, so we can switch the checked ID, then case checked ID case r.id dot video button 1, then break, we put 3, then default. This is 2 and this is 3. So in the Java part, the ID of each view already converted to an int number. So you can switch according to the ID of the view. So we can show post short. You choose one, two, and you choose 3, and default post you choose nothing. If I go to video group, if I choose the first one and click submit, you can see choose nothing. Switch checked ID, and checked ID equal to, okay. It should be video group activity dot checked ID dot this dot checked ID. So it's stored the local variable to the field. Then go to video group. So if I choose nothing, then submit, you can see you choose nothing. If I switch to the first one and click switch submit, and you choose 1. If I switch to 3, then submit, you choose 3. If I switch 2 and submit, you choose 2. So you can, whenever user switch the checked video buttons, it will update the check ID. And according to the updated check ID, you can do action according to the check ID. So that's how video group works. Then in the checkbox activity, video group and checkbox, we do the same thing. We put the linear layout and also orientation. Then we put a checkbox, match parent, warp content. The checkbox don't have a group because it doesn't need the system to switch the options. If you check one checkbox, then it will remember the checkbox. So we create for 3 checkbox. So it's 1, 2, ID 1, 2, 3. Then give text check box 1, then 2, 3. Then after text size 26 SP. After that, we also create a button. Next parent and height 6 kdp and text size 26 sp. Then text summit. Then we use button knife to set the checkbox activity action from base activity, and use button knife dot band this activity. Then add band view r.id checkbox 1. And this is checkbox 1. Also for the other 2 checkbox 2, 3, 2, 3. So different to video group, we can use check ID to remember a text to video button. For the checkbox, we have to use a list, private array list. In the array list, we put a pair. We can use map key is int, value is boolean, integer. Equal to new hash map and check list. Then whenever a checkbox, for example, check1 set inside the uncreated method, ck1 dot set on check change listener and new on check change listener, it will give you the button view and its checked status. So the button view dot get ID. Can we get button ID? Yeah, we have get ID method. So we can use the checklist dot put and is checked. And also for 2 and 3. So for each checkbox, when the system call unchecked change, that means the user change is option. Then whenever the user change is option, we have to update the checklist. And the checklist is a map. So each element inside the map is an integer and a boolean. The integer is the user button, the checkbox ID, and the value is a boolean type, and it checks if it's true or false. And for the button, we add on click, then r dot id dot check. Do I give the ID? Oh, I give the ID to the button. It's a check. Then it's a submit button. R dot check submit. Then public void submit and view v. So we will choose the status from the map. So we use a for and here checkbox. In Java, there are the iteration about entry inside the map. So it's integer here. And that's a checklist. We have a string message equal to you checked then that is for the iteration for the whole map. Then each entry inside the iteration is one item about integer and boolean. So we can check if entry dot get a value. So if the get value is true, then we can then switch the entry dot get key. Then case r dot id, the checkbox ID, checkbox 1, and break. Then the message class box 1. Then we put 2 more cases, 2 and 2, 3 and 3. And after the for loop, we checked all the status of the checked button. Then we can toast this a message. I will go to checkbox. Then if I check 1, it will mark it, and if we check 2 and mark it, and check 3 and mark it. Then if I click submit, then you check checkbox 2, 1, 3. So it is according to the you checked order. That's because you put the according to your click order, so it will output at the same order. But you can also forward add the key inside of the map, so according on your demands. Usually we will keep the same order because, for example, if a user wants to download some music, so it will choose according to the favorite music one by one. So we will download at the same order we choose. Usually if we put a default here, so in case the user doesn't choose anything, so we checked and nothing. So the difference between checkbox and video group is you have to put all the video buttons inside a video group, but it will keep the only one checked ID. And for the checkbox, you just need to put multiple checkbox in a array. Then you can just update the status of each checkbox. So let me check. Okay, it's inside. Oh, that's because we don't have the map is empty, so we don't have that part even. So if I click first one, then disclick it, so let me check it. Then 2 and 3 and disable it and check nothing. That checkbox and the video group. So today I want to introduce the last one, dialogs. A dialog is kind of like a pop-up window. So each time you finish a downloading, then or you open an error message or some suggestion, so you will receive a pop-up window. So that is called dialog in Android. Then I create a dialog activity, empty activity, and it's called dialog activity. Then finish. Import the R, and in the dialog activity, we just use what we learned for the radio group um, match parent and match parent ID. So always start with the activity name, because you will have multiple video group inside of one application to avoid the same ID for all the video groups. To start with activity name, then dialog video group, and also a button, transparent height 60 dp, then text submit, and then text size 26 sp, 36 sp. This height we web content, so we can see the button here submit. Then we will add multiple video buttons. I added dialog 8 video button inside the video group. Let's start with dialog. The first one is video dialog video button. Then let's see normal for the first ID, and it's for normal dialog. Then the second ID is a list dialog. Start with a list. Then the third one is single choice. Single choice. You can see. Then the third one is multi-choice. Because they have many style of the dialog, so I just show you how to make a customized dialog. Then I will post the code in the video. So I will not check all of them. I will only check the custom dialog. So if you like to do the system dialog, you can follow the code. But I only check the custom dialog on Monday. Reading dialog, then progress, then input. So go back to dialog activity and add band view. So the view is i.dialog video group. Then it's a video group. So we can set unchecked change listener. Then new unchecked listener. So in this one, switch the checked ID. Then r.id.dialog custom, then break. Case. Because a custom dialog, you have to customize your own look of the dialog. So we have to create a layout for the custom dialog. And so that's why we need to go to the source folder and go to layout folder, then create a new layout resource file. Then the file name is dialog casting. And inside this dialog, you can do what you want. It's simple. It's similar with activity. So just define what you want for the layout. I just put one. So because when I check your in-class task, I will not force you to do the same layout with mine. So to save the time, I just copy the custom dialog layout here. I put a title and image in the middle and also a button. So it's a text view, it's a title. Then a view is the divider, divide the title and image view. And image view, put a picture in it and the OK button. Then we have a layout for the custom dialog. Then we have to create a dialog class. We create a new package. Dialog. So for different purpose, you already have different look like of dialog. So we already have a dialog package, then create a dialog inside the create the dialog package, custom dialog superclass dialog. Then the custom dialog should extend from app.dialog. Then you have to use a constructor to receive a context from where you initial the custom dialog. And inside the custom dialog, you also need a uncreate method to set content view dialog custom. So same as the activity, we use set content view to set the layout for the dialog. Okay, this part is inside the constructor. We need to receive, so we want to start the dialog, but we also want to receive the message callback from dialog. So that's why we have to create an interface. So I think you already learned, do you learn interface from Java class? Okay, so we create an interface for the dialog. we call it custom dialog event listener. Um, which one?
How did you add extension dialog line and add a dollar line to the next?
You can delete all the import for dialog, import the dialog, it will automatically choose the dialog for you with all the suggestion. Then we create interface. Let's call it custom dialog. So custom dialog event listener. We put interface here. Then in this interface, you have to, whenever you use the interface, you have to use the onClick listener method. Then let's try put a message here. String MSD. So by use the parameter here, we can pass the message, the string message back to where we use the listener. Then in the constructor, we have to customize, receive the listener, then we can use listener this dot listener equal to listener. So usually the interface logic is confused. So this part is this part we define interface. That's what we call it listener. And here we define the variable of the listener. And here we receive the listener from outside. So this part is we just define how we use it. Then the listener is we get the listener from outside. So when we use add band view r.id.dialog, let me check the button's ID. Dialog OK. So when I bound view with dialog OK, then this void OK method, then view unclick. So when we click OK, we can call listener dot click, then message would be OK. That's for the custom dialog. So you extend from Android app dialog, then you have your own custom dialog. Inside the custom dialog, we usually create an interface to send message back to activity, and in the constructor, we have to receive the context and also the listener. Then we need an onCreate method to set the layout for the dialog. Also, in the listener part, when we click the button, we call the listener's click action. So in this method, when the user chooses the dialog custom, then we can create the custom dialog event listener equal to new custom dialog in the listener. Then we can receive message, so we can toast from this activity. Then we can toast short message, and we use the constructor to initialize the custom dialog. So for the class name, we should start with capital letter. So I change the name. Rename the first one is the capital C. So I initial the custom dialog equal to new custom dialog, and the first parameter is the dialog activity dot this, and the second parameter is the listener, as we defined the constructor. So next step, we need to pop out the dialog. Let's check the custom dialog. So we just, because we have the dialog, just use the method show. That dialog should pop out. Checkbox, then I add one more dialog. So case 10 should go to dialog activity. So in the demo fragment, we change case 10 to dialog activity. Then add one more break. Start again. Go to dialog. Has stopped. So every time you have crashed application, don't click OK. Then go to logcat, delete the filter. Then we have a non-pointer. Then dialog activity. Video group. Video group has no content. Dialog. Receive activity dialog ID. Video group. Then dialog activity. Then dialog video group. Then view. Then video group. Set unchecked. First, I have a dialog activity, and I have a dialog, have a video group. So if, okay, so I forgot to use a butter knife to bend this activity. So if you then doesn't call this method, you cannot use add banner view to find the video group. Then in the video group dialogs, if I choose normal or so custom dialog, but I didn't click OK. Okay. So I move the dialog is here, so custom dialog. The dialog is here. If I choose this one, dialog, custom dialog. How to change it to the onClick method? Okay. This is the check ID, so I move the check ID as we did in the video group activity. So we remember you store the check ID here, then in the onClick part r.id.dialog submit dialog OK. Dialog activity, then the ID dialog, then submit. So here is the we set onClick listener by use the button knife. So public void submit. Then in the parameter view, then so we can put the switch keys in the submit part. Check ID. So the check ID here to check ID. Then if it is the custom dialog, then we'll show the custom dialog. Go to dialogs, then choose normal custom dialog at your submit. Then you will see the dialog custom dialog pop out. So you can put buttons in the middle part. You can put what you want in the middle in the whole dialog, and you can customize the style of the dialog. So it's inside the resource folder, dialog activity. Set custom dialog, and I got in the dialog custom dialog activity, and if you in the custom dialog part, if you change this the super method context, and the second parameter you can put a dialog style. And a dialog style is defined inside the resource value part, and inside the resource value part we have a styles in the resource folder, values folder, and style file. Then we can put a new style. Let's call it style, and I put it here. You can see the code in the video. So it's to give attribute about custom dialog if the window frame is none or not. So if the window is floating, you can set true or false, and the content overlay or window no title. Like so, you can after the class you can change the settings. Then you will see different style of the custom dialog, or you can check the Google official store, official website. So it will give you the whole list of attributes. So they have many attributes of list. So I give you the Google developer website is to use as a dictionary. So when you want to customize one style, then you can check dictionary and to check which attribute is to set. So we don't have enough time to show you all the attributes. Just show you how to set a style. So inside the constructor in the super method, you can add the style as a second parameter. And the parameter, the dialog style is added to a style part, this part. And you can also set application styles here and choose the application theme. As for the dialog, custom dialog, if we click OK here, if I click OK here, you can see a toast. This message is sent from the custom dialog click part. So if you want the dialog disappear automatically, then you can call dismiss method. Then we go to dialogs, choose custom dialog submit. If we click OK, then the dialog dismiss. Then the toast OK. So the toast is from dialog activity. It's from here, from the onClick listener. And the message is from the parameter. So I want you folks, so this interface you have to use in the quiz about the dialog. So let's see again. You can put so whenever you want to use delay about the dismiss, or you want to put a delay on the dialog, you have to use a handler. So we will introduce on next Monday. So that you can put a handler, then the handler will have a runnable process. Then after you can set up after how many seconds, then the handler will run, then the dialog will dismiss. But you can also use a timer. The timer is from Java, but the handler is from Android package. So you can also use a timer. Here, you have to know how to customize the interface. So this, because I emphasize the interface because its logic is usually confused. First, you have to define an interface. So I define interface inside the dialog. So the definition about interface is let a user know how I create a listener and what's the method inside the listener and how can I use the listener and what's the parameters should I put in the listener. So this is for the definition. Then in the dialog activity, we initial the listener here and put the callback here. So this listener, the created listener is put it in the construction about the dialog. So this is initialize the listener, then the listener go to here, then the listener go to here. So this listener will give to this listener the field here. So when we click the OK, we call the listener, then call the onClick listener method. Whenever we call this method, it links to this method. And the message, string message passed to here, then the toast stored message will pop out. So that's the logic. So this part is the most important part on the dialog quiz. So if you cannot understand this part, you cannot finish the quiz. Dialog, and click OK, dismiss, show the message. Then I will put the other dialogs in the dialog activity. I put case, multiple cases, dialog, normal, and dialog, this is list, and this is dialog, single choice, then following dialog, multiple choice, dialog, waiting, and dialog process, and dialog input. Then all these methods create. The handle here. So start with the input dialog. I put multiple case here. You can check it in the video. For each dialog, normal dialog, list dialog, I will call the method. And start, you can find the code for the dialog for each method is start from here. The input dialog, you will use edit text, then you will use alert dialog builder. So all the system dialog use alert dialog builder, use different dialog builder than to build the dialog. So you will set like all these attributes, then can check the attribute. Because we have no time. Then the process dialog will give you process bar. Then the process bar I will introduce in the audio player. So I just give you the code in the video. I just slowly scroll to the bottom. Then if you want to do this part, you can finish it after class. And for the single choice dialog, then for the list dialog, then for the normal dialog.